something else other than positive. And that thing is, I would rather you were grateful rather than positive. And the reason for that is gratitude is what positivity is trying to get you. And I know that that's a nuanced difference, but it's a very, very important difference. And I hear a lot of people in coffee that have a platform talking about the idea of, just be positive and come from a positive mindset. And it's not just in coffee, it's in a lot of places. This mindset of, always wake up and be positive and find something to be positive about in what this crazy world is. And look, I'm not saying that they're wrong. What I'm saying is that you could do better than just be positive, because positive falls into that fake it till you make it kind of bracket. And I would rather that you did more than you faked it till you make it. And there are some times where you have sunken into such a massive hole that you're going to try everything that you can. And if being positive is helping you and being positive is the thing that you think is the be all and end all, then I invite you to try, instead of being positive, I invite you to try practicing gratitude. And it took me a long time to hear people say, gratitude is everything. And I'm like, no, but being positive is everything. And for the last number of years, I've been practicing gratitude rather than positivity. And it has been the thing that has saved me, particularly from this most recent bout of like collective depression we all seemed to have been going through. Gratitude was the thing that pulled me out of that. I needed to watch, there were a couple of reminders about getting me back to my gratitude practice that really helped with me connecting with all the things that I should be focusing on rather than allowing myself to be dragged into a deeper, darker hole. And so it's gratitude. And so how do you do that? Having a gratitude practice is very important, particularly if you're in business, particularly if you have a focus, particularly if you've decided you're going to do the hard shit, because failure is imminent. And shout out right here to Felipe Croce, who I was speaking to earlier today. And he said to me, I'd love to hear you do an episode of the Daily Coffee Pro on failure for entrepreneurs. And we will do that. But, Felipe is correct in the sense that failure is imminent for everybody who decides to not only be an entrepreneur, but everybody who decides to get into their grit and do the hard shit. And so how can you navigate your way through that and still stay on course, not being derailed by the dark moments, by the failure, by the seemingly end of the road? It's not the end of the road. The journey is the journey, and it will be filled with dark spots and it will be filled with shit moments. But gratitude is the center that you should return to at the end or the beginning or both of every day. So your gratitude practice is something that can be different for everybody. My personal gratitude practice, it used to be writing a gratitude list, and that didn't work well with my minimalism. Because it meant I would be using up a piece of paper every day, and I'm trying to remove the effort of doing that. It also didn't align with my need to stop creating a written history for myself. Last year I decided to stop doing that, and so what I do is I go for a walk that I call my gratitude walk, and through that walk I account for the things that I am grateful for. It's a 2-mile walk, and it takes, somewhere between half an hour and 45 minutes. And throughout that, I account for the things that I'm grateful for in this day. Excuse me. My walk usually happens either at, early in the day or at sunset. And that account of gratitude brings me back into alignment for coming from a center that is solid. And here's the difference between being positive and being grateful. When you're being positive, you are hopeful that you can somehow create this shit, right? If you're grateful, you are coming from real stuff that's currently going on in your life that you are experiencing. And there is always something to be grateful for. And some days my gratitude comes to the fact that I live in a safe home when it's cold outside and I have food to put in my belly. That some days that's all I have to be grateful for, or that's all I can find to be grateful for. But when you consider the alternative, that it's cold outside and I could be without a home, that's an enormous position of gratitude to come from. But not only is it an enormous position of gratitude to come from, it's real. I'm not being hopeful about it. It's something I can trust. It's something that's really happening to me. And for that reason, on some somatic level, on a cellular level, that shifts your vibration. It shifts your mood. It shifts the chemicals that you are releasing from negative to something that inspires you, something that makes you feel safe. You're not going to be firing from adrenaline the whole time and cortisol and all that stuff that keeps your adrenals on. The idea of a gratitude practice rather than a positive outlook, rah, rah, here I am, like, you know, I'm going to somehow fucking make this work practice, is that gratitude is already, by definition, something that you conjured, something that you have created for yourself. And for that reason, you will believe it at a more deep level than what you will believe positivity. Because without a doubt, if you've ever tried to be positive, you'll notice that you have this, okay, so I'm going to make $1 million by the end of this year. And you're like, but how the fuck am I going to do that? Whereas when you're grateful for the challenges that you've had to experience because of what it taught you, there is no other like negative thought that you're trying to balance out with that. Because you really experienced it and you really are grateful for it. I make my gratitude statements out loud. And this is why it's fantastic to go out for a gratitude walk with your headphones on, because people just assume that you are talking on the phone. I don't talk loud. It's more like a whisper. And there is absolutely a difference between making a gratitude statement in your mind and making a gratitude statement out loud. So going for a walk, engaging your body, being grateful out loud, and sometimes like be grateful for the seemingly useless shit that nobody else would think was important. I found a tea that I really like drinking, and it is, you know, most people would think of it as dirt water. It's like a nettle tea, but it is helping me shift my health. And I'm super grateful for the fact that I accidentally stumbled upon it, because I like drinking it and it's helping me address my toxic mold issues. It's also helping me address my allergies. But it's a position of gratitude. Find everything that you can be grateful for. You've got 45 minutes to walk around and be like, I'm really grateful for the fact that I had time to straighten my hair. Or I'm really grateful that I got to meet that stranger on the street. Or I'm really grateful for crepes. I'm really grateful for peanut butter. I am always grateful for peanut butter. And it's something, I know it sounds stupid to other people, but for some reason, my heart feels happy when I eat peanut butter. And I'm always going to be grateful that still seemingly stupid stuff like that makes me smile. When I remember that peanut butter exists, I get excited. And I don't know why, but I'm never going to not be grateful for that. And it is something that can pick me up when I am feeling down. I don't even need to have it. I just remember the peanut butter exists and it makes me feel happy. Who knows why? But do whatever you need to do with regards to that to shift a dark moment, whether it's a dark moment when you're on your own, or whether you're on bar, or whether you are at work and you are trying to manage your cash flow and everything seems shit. Because for all of us business owners, we know how terribly debilitating that anxiety can be. Stop for a moment, find a couple of things to focus that you are grateful on, take a couple of breaths, because oxygen will help you when it comes to dealing with the cortisol and adrenaline that's in your body, and then come back to center and get at it again. You got this. Peace, love, and peanut butter. Have an amazing rest of your day, friends.